Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island, marine archaeologist explains what the guys have found in the swamp. This week on The Curse of Oak Island, the team consulted a marine archaeologist about the artifacts found in the swamp, and Gary Drayton's metal detector actually picked up on an ancient coin. The guys just can't stop finding artifacts in the swamp. Both Rick and Marty Lagina pointed out early on in last night's episode that every time they go digging in the boggy land they find something. These finds range from ancient tools to ship's railings and decking to an actual stone roadway and a ship's wharf. Later in the episode, Dr. Ian Spooner referred to the swamp as a book because they find something significant every time they look into it, and it was no different yesterday as Gary Drayton and Billy Gerhardt continued to pull various pieces of wood out of the marshy land. Unfortunately, Gary still doesn't have a wood dance to accompany his gold dance, but he still couldn't hide his excitement over the variety of interesting items they were uncovering. Dr. Lee Spence expected the Oak Island artifacts. The guys decided it was time to have an expert look at all these artifacts, so they welcomed marine archaeologist Dr. Lee Spence to the war room, hoping that he would impart some wisdom. The team is still hoping that an ancient treasure ship is buried in the swamp, and they mainly wanted Lee to let them know if these artifacts were nautical in origin. Lee has spent a lifetime researching maritime history, and he found his first wreck on a dive when he was just 12 years old. So there was no doubting his credentials, and he told the guys exactly what they wanted to hear. Most of the items found could easily be part of the ship, he said. There was one item that looked like a rather large wooden pin, which Lee said was likely a fid. Fids were used to manipulate rope on sailing ships, and he said this one probably came from a large sailing ship. Later in the episode, the team received the results of some carbon dating tests it ordered on a couple of the swamp items, and excitingly, they were dated from approximately 1680 to 1750. These dates, or similar, keep cropping up in the course of their research, and everyone is starting to believe that something of great significance happened on Oak Island sometime between 160 and 1750. There was excitement over a coin find, but disappointment at the money pit. Meanwhile, Gary Drayton actually found a coin, and no, it wasn't a Canadian dollar. Yes, you read that right. The metal detectorist, along with Michael John, were exploring Lot 32, near the swamp by the coast, when they found the circular coin-like object. Gary thought it looked very similar to two British 17th century coins the guys found in 2018. But he resisted the urge to scrape the dirt off for fear of damaging it and sent it off to the archaeology trailer for proper study. We'll hopefully hear the results of that next week. Regulars of the show will know you can't have a high without a low on Oak Island. With that in mind, it was perhaps no surprise that there was a major disappointment at the money pit. Last week, there was lots of excitement when they thought they'd hit a cavity that may have been a secret chamber. And their excitement was again piqued last night when the drill appeared to hit the cavity once again. However, disappointment crept into their faces when a core sample pulled up some eelgrass. This organic material was used with coconut fiber in the construction of flood tunnels. This meant the cavity was unlikely to be a secret chamber stuffed with treasure, but was probably a boring old flood tunnel. Dr. Amelia Bennett had spent most of her life diving into the depths of the world's oceans, uncovering secrets buried beneath the waves. So, when she received an invitation to investigate the mysterious findings in the swamp on Oak Island, her curiosity was piqued. The island had long been rumored to hold a hidden treasure, and the Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, had dedicated years to uncovering its secrets. As she stood on the edge of the swamp, the morning mist clinging to her wetsuit, Dr. Bennett took in the scene. The swamp was a murky expanse with reeds and cattails swaying gently in the breeze. The team had already begun their work, and the air buzzed with excitement and anticipation. Dr. Bennett, glad you could make it. Rick Lagina greeted her with a warm smile. We think you'll find what we've discovered here quite interesting. Call me Amelia, she replied, shaking his hand firmly. And I'm eager to see what you found. Marty joined them, holding a tablet displaying a 3D map of the swamp's underwater terrain. "We've been conducting sonar scans and found some anomalies we can't explain. We were hoping you could help us make sense of them." Dr. Bennett donned her diving gear, her heart pounding with the thrill of the unknown. She slipped into the cold, murky water, the world above fading as she descended into the depths. The visibility was poor, but her flashlight cut through the gloom, revealing the outline of something unexpected, a series of wooden structures, partially buried in the silt. As she swam closer, the shapes became clearer. They were remnants of an old ship, its timbers worn and encrusted with centuries of marine growth. Her mind raced with possibilities. What was a ship doing in a swamp on Oak Island? Theories and legends swirled in her thoughts, but she needed more information. After surfacing, she relayed her findings to the team. "There's definitely a ship down there. It looks old, very old. We need to take samples and conduct a more thorough examination to determine its age and origin." The team sprang into action, lowering equipment into the water to retrieve wood samples and take detailed scans. Over the next few days, they worked tirelessly, piecing together the story of the sunken ship. Amelia spent hours in the lab analyzing the samples. The wood was oak, native to Europe, and the construction techniques pointed to a 16th century origin. It was a ship from the age of exploration, possibly one of the many that sailed to the New World in search of fortune. But why was it here, in the swamp? Theories abounded. Perhaps it had been deliberately scuttled to hide its precious cargo, or maybe it had been swept inland by a powerful storm. As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, another discovery added to the intrigue. Marty approached Amelia with a small, corroded object. "We found this near the wreck. Can you identify it?" Amelia examined the artifact carefully. It was a metal cross, its surface adorned with intricate carvings. The design was unmistakable. Templar. The Templars were rumored to have hidden their treasures around the world when their order was disbanded in the early 14th century. Could this ship have been carrying Templar treasures? The possibility sent a shiver down her spine. The Lagina brothers had always speculated about a Templar connection to Oak Island, and this discovery seemed to lend credence to their theory. As the days turned into weeks, Amelia and the team unearthed more clues. They found remnants of what appeared to be a chest, though its contents had long since decayed. There were also traces of gold dust, suggesting that valuable items had once been stored here. The swamp, once thought to be a natural feature, now seemed to be a carefully crafted hiding place. Wooden structures beneath the water hinted at a sophisticated effort to conceal the ship and its cargo. Someone had gone to great lengths to ensure that whatever lay hidden in the swamp would remain undiscovered. Amelia couldn't help but marvel at the ingenuity and determination of those who had come before. Ship in the swamp was more than just a relic. It was a testament to the lengths people would go to protect their secrets. One evening, as the sun set over Oak Island, casting a golden glow across the water, Amelia and the Lagina brothers sat by the campfire, reflecting on their findings. The swamp had revealed a tantalizing glimpse into the past, but many questions remained unanswered. "Do you think we've found the Templar treasure?" Rick asked, his voice filled with hope and wonder. Amelia smiled, her eyes reflecting the firelight. "We've found evidence that suggests a connection, but the full story is still out there, waiting to be uncovered. This ship is a piece of the puzzle, but there are likely more secrets hidden on this island." Marty nodded thoughtfully. "Then we'll keep searching. The swamp has given us more than we ever expected, and who knows what else we'll find." As the fire crackled and the stars began to twinkle above, Amelia felt a sense of profound connection to the island and its mysteries. Oak Island had a way of drawing people in, its legends and lore captivating the imagination. The discovery of the ship in the swamp was just the beginning, a new chapter in a story that spanned centuries. Dr. Amelia Bennett knew she would return to Oak Island, driven by the same relentless curiosity that had led her to the farthest corners of the earth. There were more secrets to uncover, more stories to tell, and perhaps, one day, the full truth of Oak Island would be revealed. Until then, the island would continue to guard its mysteries, a tantalizing enigma that beckoned to all who dared to seek its hidden treasures.